Hello everyone. Is it working? I hope so. Yes. Hello. I was wondering if it was working or not. I was like, no. Hopefully it's working. I love that I used to clean my desk for... Hello, Big Mama. How are you? What's your question for me today? I liked when I actually started streaming this. Hello, Cheme. Hello, Sultana. I nearly called you Sultana. Like Sultan. Hello, how are you? Ant's current thoughts of you. That they really admire this kind of quality. They're striving to reach it, but they're also kind of not in a great position of love right now. So they might be dealing with some overwhelming thoughts about love at the moment. So in general, they're really enjoying your company and enjoying your time, but their heart is kind of full in some ways. Yeah. Abdul says, thank you for saying I'm so positive. So Abdul's current feelings towards me, that they just want you to be more honest about stuff. So if they contact you, you need to be a little bit more honest about your feelings or your thoughts or anything that goes with that. So Tatiana, hey! How am I? I go good. May I know what should I know now? Okay. So you might be a big picture person. It's telling you to look more closely at things right now. It might be where your love or like parts of your life are flowing. And if it's to check money, it's to check bank accounts, see what little tiny things are going out of your bank account. If it's love, it's like which attachments are not suiting yourself right now. So kind of really get into the specifics and figure out where everything's going to, where's your energy, where's your time expended. And if it's not serving you, cut it out. Cut it out of your life. It's not worth it for you. Hello, the Divine. How am I? I go great. Thank you. So Che says, should I forget about Luca or is there still hope? Like a future? Well, there's always a future until there is not. But that doesn't mean it's the end for most people. I think there's a future there. There's a positive there. Still a feeling of looking after someone or taking care of them. And this could be possibly that you're both feeling this way, that you want to be positive and you want to look after each other. So I would say that that's the thing. So Butterfly says, is it over between me and Lucius for good now? I think this is a Lewis, but there's a J in there, so I would say Lucius. How am I? I'm going great, Mom. And you? Okay, yes. I don't think it's over. I feel like there is this kind of connection back again. Whether you've been contacting each other or not, there seems like alignment of energy back into a state where you both see each other as being a soul seeing another soul and seeing that you're compatible. So that's good. That's good. Old Fashioned Girl is next. hey, does Estes think about me? I think he's thinking about himself right now, but he's in a positive frame of mind. So there could be a striving to get what he wants right now. So it's more like being able to share his space with another person, which is great, because this could be like thinking about like families and kids and stuff like that, because he's not in a sarcastic place, which is great. I love that. So he is possibly thinking of other people, especially you right now. So will my ex contact me in the near future? I feel oh, sorry. I'm sorry to laugh. That's a horrible thing to laugh about. But I feel like when they contact you, it's because they won't have any money. They'll be down on the luck. They'll need somewhere to stay. You have to be pretty forthright with them, because when they come in, they'll possibly come in with the onus, okay, you always look after me, you always give me a place to sleep, and you've got to realize that they're going to upset your balance or your thing, and you've got to figure out whether this relationship's worth that cost, because they will contact you. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I need a place to stay, I need some food. And you being a nice person will look after them. So I really, I love your shirt. Thank you. I love it too. So June's River says, will I come back to study the Save School programs this year of last year, and should I face? Oh, okay. Well, I think this card's answering both. So this is a companionship card. So your dad might understand how you've dealt with things, and possibly he's trying to make your life better, because he doesn't want you to go through the same things as he's gone through. And so therefore it's going to be one of those things that you will do what you need to do right now. And I think if that kind of meant that you needed to take time out, that you'll come back to the same situation and it'll be much better, because you'll have this kind of outlook that you can now deal with all of those things again. So I think in general, it's like, if there's this space that you need to come back, take your time, but it'll be much better when you go back. Hello, Bahania, yay! I got so much. Priya, how are you? What is S thinking about our connection? You're like a safe harbor to him. He really needs to kind of get his plans together. He needs to get his ass moving. He's really not done much plan wise, and he needs to figure out his life. No worries, Tatiana. Thank you for coming by. Thank you, Butterfly. So I think he needs to kind of work his shit out. And if he doesn't, then you've got to kind of give him that bit where you're like, hey, listen. you need to work on yourself, okay? My mom's right eye RA cause it is a cure with this nucleus of cure with operation. it's hard because it says that you might be too poor for this operation. You might need to search around and see if there is ability to contact like charities that look after people and see if they can help you with this, because I feel like with yourself you won't be able to afford this operation, so you need to reach out with others and try and do this, because you need to do this. This could be one of these things that your mom goes permanently blind if you don't. But reach out to charities and see if you can get them to help you with the cost of that operation, okay? So that was Nazarian. So Sparkly says, how will my love life in next 20 days? Hello, Sparkly. How are you? I hope your smile is still sparkly. I feel like this is going to be a no-go. There's just like this ambient energy, I think, in general. I don't think that it's you. I think it's other people. So don't worry. Still keep that positive smile. Keep working on your beautiful, intelligent princess queen self. Buy all the like if you want to buy a new dress, new shoes, not saying that I believe in like consumerism, but kind of give yourself that sexy feeling without needing to go on a date. I feel like that's an important thing for you right now, is to feel sexy in yourself, because yeah, whatever these dudes are doing, don't worry about them. So 20 days, it's not that long. Make yourself feel sexy. That's all you need to do, Sparkly. Boom Ima, hello, how are you? Current feelings of my mother-in-law. Okay, so whatever was happening between you two, this is finally the cycle that it flips. It's okay. Whatever arguments or things kind of tension has kind of got to a cycle. So what could happen is that they could treat you completely a different way. Especially, I think, positive. Maybe. I would say more positive than negative. So don't worry about it. Hi, Melody. How are you? What is Maurice's Mitchell's true feelings and actions towards with me? Ooh, boy. This is getting spicy. Hello, Adita. If anybody hasn't put in their question yet and they're waiting for me to tell them to put down the question, then yeah. So yeah, I want to care for you, I think, Melody. It's like the whole idea that they can see that you haven't been treated well in the past, or you've told them that you haven't been treated well in the past, and they want to help you. So I feel like they really just want you to feel comfortable and safe with them. They possibly want to offer you a physical and emotional space as well. But I don't really want to come back seriously. I don't want to any kinds of better situation. Come back. I think whatever you choose to do, June's Rebel, most of it is you need to have that space that you do your own thing. And I feel like even though the situation will change when you come back to a certain space. You might not go to the same place, but you're going to go to somewhere around the same location, I feel. So take your time and kind of figure out that, because I feel like when you go back to a certain thing, if you have a different mentality, sometimes it's better, because you'll then change that whole perspective for yourself. And I think your dad just understands that he wants you to be looked after, and he doesn't want you to go through the same things as he's gone through. Harsha, will Sijal marry me? Time frame. I feel there's a real struggle for the your lover, this guy. I feel like this is or I feel like this is a guy, but it could be a girl. But the whole idea is Harsha. I think they're struggling a lot, and I don't know whether they can fully commit to this without dealing with all their emotional trauma, all their emotional things, and it might be too hard for them. So I'm not going to give them a time frame, because they really are struggling, and they might not see a possible outcome where they get married to you. But that doesn't mean that you can't change this. I'm not saying force someone's mind, but everyone's perspective is different when they view it. So I feel like this person's just got a mental block towards a marriage, or even the points that they think about marrying you, they can't picture it. So it's very hard, because obviously if they say, oh yeah, I want to get married, they might have this idea, a complete ideal in their head, but they might not see you as that person, or they might not even see themselves married at all. So it's kind of hard. I'm not going to give you a time frame, because it's up to them. They really haven't got a clue. I think if they leave you waiting, just don't think about it as a thing, because they're going to have a hard time in general dealing with whatever they're going through. Vanna, will Chit connect me in the future, and what does he think about me? What does he think about you? Will he connect with you? There was a bit that I think he wasn't totally trustworthy in his words and actions. Now, that doesn't mean that he was lying to you, but it did feel like he was kind of not telling the whole truth. And sometimes honesty kind of doesn't really always fix everything, but it's a good place to start. So I don't think that he'll fully connect with you, because there is this bit of that the riches came to this person and then passed through. So there is this bit that this person didn't keep holding on to the connection. So will they come back in your life in a big way? I don't think so. But they possibly didn't realize how much that connection would have been to them. So Priyanika, what does Kay want to say to me? To be fair and honest, in all your interactions, there might be a bit where no, I'm not saying that you're not fair, but it might be that you're not always completely honest and truthful about every single thing. And it's like, just whatever behavior you want out of that connection, you need to match that. So if you want them to kind of give you something, you need to give them something back. That's what I would say. That's your question. Princey says, will MD give commitment to me? Hello everyone, I hope that you've put down your questions. I am answering as I scroll down, so I'm slowly getting all the way through, but in general it's just one of those things. That's interesting. I think there is a choice there. There is a two choice thing here, and it's a little bit hard for him right now. There's a lot of options. It seems like a young man mentality, like I have everything in life to kind of reach for, to get. So it might be the whole idea of the young mindset, like why would I settle down yet? But they do consider you as a beautiful, emotional person that they want to keep comfortable and keep holding on to. So it might be that they have to deal with their youngness and people telling them not to settle down yet, not to choose that right person early on. So it's really interesting because there is that towering of things. I feel, Princey, it's just like time. Pum Ima? When will my shippy D get married? 35 years old, but still not married. I think you have to see the broader view of this, that 35 is old to get married in some cultures. Sometimes it's not. And you've got to realize in some ways that does mean that they aren't completely there yet in that frame of time, but they're still happy. So you have to kind of widen your view and realize them as a person. They're not worried about this at the moment, and it's okay for them not to be completely worried about it, but I can understand why you're just worried about it. It's okay. It's fine. I could see that being a problem, but I think in general they're happy and they're healthy and they'll find someone. No matter what age, they'll still kind of find someone to share their life with. Sench, hello. Does Sam missing me right now? They're kind of a little bit in a stupid phase right now. They're not particularly wise. They're not seeking advice. They're not feeling completely good in their skin. There's just this bit where they're a little bit more impatient, a little bit more anxious. I feel like it's anxiety that's coming out of these cards, but I think they're missing you a little bit. But it's also that they kind of, what would I say, irritability. They want everything at once and they want to do it now. And I think in general it's just one of those things. Let them go. If they come back to you, they come back to you. But in general, just keep living your life. They're irritable. They're being very annoying right now, okay? No worries. Thank you, Sparkly Smile. Hello, Adita. Hello, Harsha again. No worries. General reading for me, says Kanya. Achania, I think. Hello, Jades. How are you? Achania. General reading for you. Well, there is a bit of things. There is a commitment there. But it's also weird because you've got a reverse King of Pentacles. Now, King of Pentacles in that thing is physically irresponsible or feeling like they're losing money, that they're trying to grasp onto money. And that could be a partner that you have now or your partner in the future, but it's just like they're having a hard time right now, and you might have to offer a little bit more financial things, or they have to kind of not, I wouldn't say give the money, because if the Kings of Pentacles, they're used to working for it. But it's also like there's kind of like a reverse creative moment. So I feel like you're going to have a hard time with this at the moment, where there's the creativity is not coming in, not flowing through. I feel plan right now, because it might be that you're dealing with a future financial moment that you need to prevent. So I would say that that's a thing that you'll need to work on, and you might have to be the person that provides at the moment. So I would say plan your things accordingly, because at the moment it seems like you'll need to work on this, because yeah, I think that that's a problem at the moment, is just financial things. So you'll need to work on that. So Jace is, hey Cass, what was O's thoughts and feelings on me after I blocked him? Okay. Hello, my new Jewel. Yes, of course. So it's a first question. So if you put in your question, I will answer it, and I'll scroll down the list until I've answered all the questions in the stream. So that you were selfish. You took away some happiness when you did that. So there is this restriction, tightness, of that you had some energy that person was taking or enjoying, and because you cut or like restricted access to that. I don't know. Slightly emotional vampire, I feel. So Corey says, how does Aki feel about me? Firstly, you're very self-addictive. Either this person's very addictive to you, or that they've realized that you have addictive behavior that you're not looking after. There's something about you that you keep on doing an addiction of some kind. And that doesn't mean drugs or alcohol before chat gets upset. This could be as simple as you get up and you need that cup of coffee or that Coke in the morning to keep you going. Addictions can come in many forms. So this can be any one of us right now. But you're a wise person. Like, anything that you want to do in life, you could get if you work diligently at it. So they admire you for this strength. They admire you for this frailty. So therefore, you can be strong, and you can be wise, and you can still have this soft spot for most things in life. I feel like in some ways you walk out and you can see a beautiful flower and you're just like, that's a beautiful flower today. So you have these two sides. But yeah, one thing that I'm really worried about is that so Corey, I hope that you work out what that is and you do something with it, because self-addictive behaviors are always really bad for us in general. So what's coming next? So there was a breakup, or there will be a breakup. Someone that you saw eye to eye with won't see eye to eye with you now. This might not be a companion card. This might be just a friend's card. That there is a changing of connections, which doesn't mean a bad thing, because obviously when we grow and when we become bigger, then that doesn't mean that we always keep connections, because people have their own energetic energy, and sometimes we just vibrate higher than others, and sometimes we vibrate lower than others. So if it's a growth thing, then you're doing great. Well done. So Pritha says, so Alexandra just asked a question and I'll try to answer it. So we're up to Pritha now. So hi, hello. Will Rafid message me again and try to communicate with me? I think no, they don't want to. They tried and they were getting frustrated, easily frustrated with you. It might be that they didn't understand the connection completely when they were in it. And they could see that you were, from the outside looking in, you're a very strong, independent person. And then you became more of a person that was leaning on them for time and attention or something like that. And they just couldn't stand it, because for them, they were only looking for someone that was independent. Totally independent, and really didn't need that upkeep that comes with a relationship. It didn't mean that you were needy, but you just had that feeling. And so therefore they possibly tried to communicate that, but they got frustrated. And also that they need to work on themselves too. So Pritha, just let that connection go, because they're pretty much not in a mood to communicate at all. Can I get a teaching job in Gurukul? I apply. I think so. This is the card that money's coming to you. So I think in general you'll get that job, or you'll get a job close to that. I don't know whether it's totally that job, but whatever it is pretty soon. So I would say that it's definitely yes on that job, or they will offer you another position. It's something to do with that, I feel. So good job, Nazarene. Alexandria says, when will I meet the next man, my future husband? Lead to marriage? What does my future husband waiting to marriage? Current connection in out as well. What this seems like there's a lot of restless energy. Firstly, this card is to tell you that there is weaknesses. There could possibly be emotional reason why you're having such a hard time making someone commit to you. You've got to think of why this feels like possibly emotional neediness, and you have to let go of control. So there is this kind of clinginess, controlling, that you might need to, like, it might be to stop the control of the timeline, and kind of realize that that person's a person too. Maybe there's this whole idea that you've got a mouse but you haven't eaten it and you're waiting for another mouse to fall into your mouth, and you need to realize that there's a mouse there that you've already caught and you can eat that whenever you choose. So I think in general, I'm not saying that before you get upset with me, I think that it's hard because we don't know when we end and when our partner begins. And sometimes when we want something fixed, we go to our partner first before we actually go to ourselves and ask. So I feel in some ways, as soon as you let go of the feeling like I need to do this, I need to get this done, you'll realize that you're a lot less stressed and you'll have fun, and that's good. So I think that's good. How's your career? Adita and everybody else, please don't spam. If I've missed your message by any chance, sometimes I do, and I apologize for that. But sometimes it's because I am going down slowly to get to the next message, and I'm sorry that that happens. But sometimes I can't always. Sometimes I don't read it the same way. Maybe it's something to do with I was born dyslexic, so sometimes I do miss messages. I'm sorry. Adita, how's your career? It's going. It's moving places. It's doing great. I'm glad that I could tell you that it's going somewhere. It's doing really well. Pris says hi, Pris. What's coming towards me in love? Why is Pris? I know. I've been playing Witcher right now, and Pris sounds like Triss. I love Triss. Has anyone watched the Netflix series Witcher? It's gorgeous. I love it. What's coming towards you, love? Oh, this is beautiful. What's coming towards you in love is you'll start realizing that you're manifesting yourself. And it's not like that a lot of people want to know about their partners or who's coming towards them. But this is more about you, that you'll feel more grounded, that you'll understand that you are creating your own reality, and that you have that option and power to choose who comes into your life and who goes straight out of it. So I think the whole idea is that you'll know and understand your newfound power that you already had, but you need to understand that completely. So enjoy your highest priestess self, Pris. And you're very welcome, Bavnia. Majo says, when will I do agriculture projects? It's going to be hard because there's no kind of timeline that seems like it's going towards this at the moment. That doesn't mean that you can't work on these stuff yourself, but if you're waiting for someone else to create it, or that it will open up to you, I don't think so. I think at the moment, there's a lot of things that are creating this no ideas block. And it's going to just take time. So I would suggest working on your own agricultural projects if you can, and kind of work on your own things and then get back to it. Is J and L in love, says Celix. I was thinking, because she said J and L, I was like, Jennifer Lopez! I think there's a drain on the relationship. Whoever is the man in the relationship is possibly draining the woman dry of emotional connection. So with this card, this is emotional neediness from your male. So whoever is the male in that relationship is draining the cup dry. And so if they don't redefine that space and give enough onus back to their partner, they're not going to be able to do that at all. So at the moment they're possibly in love, but if there's no kind of give back, then it's pretty much dead. Whether you like it or not. No worries, thanks. Thank you, Saj. No, thank you, Saj. I'm glad that I could help. What's coming towards you in married life? Oh, well, I think that you'll realize that you've got a certain amount of freedom and still a certain amount of power, and that you shouldn't give up. So most people that get married, so wise, give up a lot of their freedoms in marriage, and they shouldn't, because they still need the social outside of marriage to thrive, and you need that. So therefore, in general, enjoy your married life, but I would also suggest that you always keep your friends, your female friends, or even like people around you that you know very well, because you need to have that outside space as well as this inside space. So it's only going to get better from nowadays forth, okay? So, hello, Amara. No worries, Pinyaka. No worries, Kenya. Bernice says, hi, will my brother-in-law be out on bail? Ooh. That's a good question. Let's see if the cards could answer that. I don't feel this time. There is no, I don't think so. There is kind of a thing though, that depending on how good his behavior is through this bail, that they might release him in the future. But it's also like, what would I say? Your sister? Yeah, your sister, because obviously with your brother-in-law is married to your sister, there is this neediness to deal with your brother-in-law, so she's missing him. I'm very sure that she misses him terribly. But I think just in general, whatever good behavior he can show this time means that it's possible that the bail will be able to be worked, not this time, but next time, okay? So S says, what does SS thinking about me? That's a good question. I think it's also funny when the cards pull out something. I'm like, they're just thinking about themselves, or they're just thinking about summer holidays, or it's always funny because we're in our own skin. What are you thinking about you? That you're not telling them everything. So this is the the Page of Wands upside down. He is, I would say, like, you know, the Jack of Hearts stole the Queen's tarts and ran away. This is like the what I think. He's twitchy, he's nervous, he's not telling everything, and that's what this person thinks of you. So you're not telling them everything. You might be covering it up, or you're not actually being very honest about your feelings. So that's what they're kind of doing. They might be also upset because they might have asked you and you haven't been honest with them. So okay, so Amara, hi. If anybody hasn't put down their question and waiting for like the list or something, there's no list. It's whatever comes in the thing. Future Mind with Pisces, I think that there is this healing of heartbreak for both of you. So this, even if it doesn't work out, will still heal both of your hearts. So I feel like there's going to be a connection with you two, because there's always this thing where you've got to want to heal your heart. And why you usually heal your heart is because you see someone else's relationship, okay? So you're doing really good. Okay, so Amara is now so easy. If you just missed yours, go back in time. That was yours. What is the Gemini's thoughts and feelings for me, says Amaria. It's hard because he really wants to get out of like thinking about. I think there's a general anxiety approaching you, and he's not doing very well. There's this whole idea that he's battling and he just can't battle anymore. So there's just like this whole idea that he's got stuck with this critic and ego. So I think if he stops struggling with himself and he comes honest, like this person comes honest and clean about their feelings, they'll feel so much better because they're just struggling with themselves. So yeah, I feel like Amaria, they're just struggling with themselves. I feel sorry for them because they might have this bit where they've got turned down before and they're really scared that you'll turn them down now. So Shrey is next. How does Monali see me? As one of the options. So this one is that this cat looks at all the bowls and then gets completely burnt out because it can't choose one. It can't choose one at the moment. So whether you like it or not, they have plenty of options, but they're not going to take any of them because they just can't choose. So whether you like it or not, Shrey, you've got to kind of realize that they could possibly be playing with you, as in that they've got lots of options, but they don't know. So that's not a good sign. Yeah, Jana, hello. Thank you, Amara. So Lita says, so that Capricorn I told you about made a new account to try and contact me, but we tried to keep me. Oh no! What does he think about me? Lita, I think he's got a one-track mind on this. I think that he's ignoring that you're ignoring him. That's absolutely priceless. This guy's just stuck in this flower pot. So, we'll see. Lita, because oh my god, this is this is hilarious, but oh, I feel sorry for him and you. I'm sorry, Alita, to laugh about that, but sometimes people are stubborn. Yeah, Jana. I know, Alita. I'm one of the stubborn ones. So Yajana says, what is waiting me in the next month? Oh, well, there seems to be some lovers, some relationship vibes for you. If you're currently in a relationship, it means that everything's going well and you're sunny and happy and everything's going great. If it's a new one, exactly the same. You'll feel very, very much at home with their company, but it's also telling you that you need to make some plans. You're sitting here twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the universe to give you your new box. You need to pick out your box and work on it yourself. So the universe is kind of trying to kick you up the butt and keep you moving, okay? So plan those plans. Get your mood boards out, your vision boards out, your bucket list out. Kind of go through it and figure it out for yourself. Shrey says general love reading. Okay. That you're good at being playful, and I think that I feel this kind of playboy vibe to you. Or playgirl vibe. There is this kind of feeling of like, oh yeah, like don't worry about the relationship, and then you kind of destroy it yourself because you're not taking enough time to commit to that one person, because whether you like it or not, people find you attractive and good looking. And so therefore what happens is that you kind of then give them, like, you go, I don't want to commit to this. And so therefore you keep creating this bit where you're like the last problem on the plate. And so Shrey, I think that you have to realize that in some ways, if you want a good relationship, you have to commit. I'm not saying that you need to commit on the first day, but you really need to be very much adamant that you're dating someone that you want to see for the rest of your life. If you wake up after that date and you're like, no, I can't deal with this, don't keep on living with that vibes. You need to figure out whether or not you're in pretty much, I would say, at least 2 dates, and then figure out whether you can commit to that person. What is my boss Manesh Radvan current thoughts about my work performance? You're chasing the money, and you might have lost your... So, Rupali, I think you're chasing the money that comes with the pay rise, but your heart is not in your work anymore. And so, therefore, there's this bit where I feel in some ways it's good because you are motivated by money, but you also have to kind of think... are you doing the right work for yourself? Is there any kind of responsibilities or more challenging things that you want to do in your life? Because I feel like at the moment you're slightly bored. And so that's it. Kovia! So Kovia says, have I met my future spouse? There's a lot for you, Colvia. Well, I think you have to get up and move. You also, I feel like with most of the things, Colvia, to put it bluntly, I believe in that there's a lot of potential partners for you, and when someone doesn't have or has no perceived compatibility, it's because you're not working on yourself as well. So that is a good thing to get some hobbies and some interests that you like and enjoy that keeps you passionate about life, and to stop always digging yourselves holes in relationships, because I feel like you do that quite a lot. But in general, I feel like that you kind of went through a stage of depression. So Corvia, even if you met someone, I don't think you could have identified them, and you possibly wouldn't have been able to identify them, because what happens with ourselves when we go through stages of depression or grief, because grief is pretty much depression. Well, it's a form of depression, because that comes with it. And so therefore you never got that chance to see people for what they truly were, because that flavored everything. But in general, I feel like you're young and that you might have not been able to commit to anything, but I think as you get older, you're able to open your heart to someone. So I don't think that you completely met someone that was on your vibrational level at the stage you were in, but that doesn't mean that you haven't seen that person before. You just haven't recognized them yet as your soulmate. So that could be that you just might meet that person from your past and bump into them again, and they're completely different, because that's what happens. People grow different as they grow older, and so therefore that's the thing. I would also put it out there that you usually find the right person. 1 out of 10 people is going to be compatible with you. So if you bet quite a lot of people you're right in life, Corvia, there's pretty much someone for you already. Manager, I already answered that. I said there's no ideas when that's going to happen for you. So you'll need to work on your own agriculture projects, because at the moment there's no idea or no funding for it. So I would suggest working on projects that you can by yourself, so you can prove that you can do an agricultural project in the future. Sarah, of course you can. I just put your question. Sarah has already done that. So Rupali, no. So Rupali, I already answered. What is Fee's current feelings towards me, says Sarah. Okay, we got half of the deck. I don't know why it just decided to come out. What's Fee's current things towards you? I think they're scared of getting picked on. Like, what they do something and then you address that issue, like, oh no, like, remember that day that you did this and I felt this way, and I think they're just hiding from you right now. That sounds really sucky, Sarah, but I think in some ways, if you kind of give up this kind of nitpicking, maybe, or talking about specific events and kind of give them more of an open thing, they might come out of their shell, because they're hiding. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, they're not going great. So, June says, thank you, Corvia, for looking after me today. Oh, questions. Oh my god. Let's go with the 2 off the top. When will you get out of your country? It's going to be soon. I feel like there's opportunities there. There might have been opportunities that you might have turned down in the later, you might have turned down before, but they're open to you, so you might need to kind of think of what you might have turned down before, whether it might have been an au pair or something like that, where you can go and live in another country, and by living in another country you can work on a visa or something like that. But in general, I think that you're doing very well and you will get out of the country, I would say very soon. If it's not this year, it's going to be next year, very, very early next year, okay? Okay, so who am I up to? Okay, so we're up to Reefer. Reefia. That sounds better than Reefer. I'm sorry, it's like English is not the prettiest one. Do you think of me and R will communicate again? Will I get a text from him soon? Do not copy and paste the same questions again. Please don't. I try to do my best to read everybody's, so sometimes it's hard for me if you do copy and paste again. So this is... yes, you'll definitely communicate again, and possibly soon. There was this bit where they kind of got their unstuck from how they were feeling, how they were experiencing things, and they realized that life is better with you, and they realized that they weren't taking care of you as much, and they want to actually renew that, but they want to take care of you this time. Sahin? Did I miss Sahin? Sahin, I do not see a question. Can you post it again for me, please? Yeah. Okay, so... Okay, when will S contact me? Okay. Of course, Annie, give me 1 second. I'm trying to keep up with chat, but sometimes it's very hard, okay? So... S says when S will contact them. Very soon. I would say under a month. So I would say a month from now, so I would say very soon. Annie says, good morning. Good morning, Annie. It's actually good afternoon for me in the UK, but it could be good morning for you, of course. Can I ask what's coming up in life? I see good things. I think you've got a lot of things that you've dealt with that you're going to have to deal with. Firstly, there is a crumbling down of a situation. It could possibly be X, and you'll just have to watch them because you shouldn't intervene. Whatever has happened to them is no fault of yours. And sometimes people need to learn their lessons. So I would sit there and watch on the sidelines, and please don't try to help them because they really need to work on themselves. And you need to work on yourself. So, and there is this kind of bit to control your manifestations or your energy towards others, because what's actually happening is you're possibly attracting desperate cases, I guess. That's how I would put it. There is this need to look after people to care for them, and you're possibly being a pseudo mother to them, and you need to let go of this energy, because what's actually happening is that you're investing in them and they're not investing in you. And also there is this bit where you'll get yourself out of trouble. So whatever you got stuck in is time that you're let free from whatever has happened. You'll be let go of. So that's great. I don't see that as a bad thing. So Annie, I hope that helped. Okay, Shardana says, what is Rackmill's next actions towards me? Okay, so they want to provide for you, but they're also waiting. It's not a great time for them to commit right now. So they're kind of waiting and watching your moves. So it could possibly be that they think you're good looking, or you're too attractive for them, and they're waiting for you to get snatched up. So they're waiting to see if they get a chance, or they actually don't have a chance with you. So they're kind of wanting to invest in a relationship, but they also want to see what you're going to do. Whether you're going to wait around for them. Do I have to know about my academics, says Edie. Hello Ruby, how are you? Okay, so academics wise, Edie, I think one thing you're very good is theoretical. You're not so good with practical, and that might need to work. You need to work on that, because your test scores, your academic work is excellent. It's beautiful. You could essay people to death if you wanted to, but there's this practicality that seems like if you need to do this practical, you can't bring it forth. There is a block there. So you need to figure out why because you know things. You definitely know things. But when it comes to practicality, it's not there. So you might need to go through and kind of learn how to approach these practically, because you know everything. You have knowledge. You're very good at the theoretical parts of it. You can write test papers, you can do everything, but when it comes to practicality of applying it, you don't have it yet. So you need to figure out how that's going to affect you, because every single job, every single career, you will need to apply the knowledge practically. So how long will a government job? Government job is going to come soon. I think that there's a lot of things that tied itself to that government job that you really needed. So there is this kind of bit that you'll be able to clothe and feed yourself and give yourself opportunities that you haven't had before. I think you need to be very strong when it comes to the interview process, because that's the only thing that lets you down. There is this bit that what would I say? It's not dressing non-appropriately, but it's just like when you are in an interview, you're not assertive enough. You don't come along as forthcoming as they want, but you will get the job. It's just a matter of approach, I feel. So you're doing very great, Ruby, so it's coming soon to you, okay? Okay, so Bernice says yes. Chen's feelings for me. No worries, Sasha. No list here. No, that's true. No list here. I try to answer everyone's question. So, so Sasha says Chen's feelings for me. I think he's waiting on you, Sasha. And he's kind of getting old. And he's kind of not maybe I feel like you have the hot chick vibe. Like, when I think of this, I think of what is it, Megan Fox in Transformers, the first time you see her, and she's got the hot pants on and she's doing the motorbike and stuff like that. It's like Chen's completely flawed. It's like he got like the Megan Fox effect from you, and he's just like sitting there going, I don't have a chance, and I don't have any hope. So there's like no chance, no hope. He's still like trying to desperately like sit there and go, there's no chance, no hope. You definitely have that hot girl effect on him. So, no, she's my husband's sister. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, Bernice. Oh, I'm sorry. That's so okay. And Pubeba, you're very, very welcome. What is your future partners look like? I feel like a redhead or just like redhead or exotic. It's like, it's hard because like whatever she looks like, she's got this kind of spice to her. She's gonna walk into a room and you're gonna sit there and go, oh, that's just amazing. Or if it's a guy, it's still the same. They've got this kind of look to them. So I would say a redhead. I would say redhead. Yeah, they're gonna look pretty amazing. Possibly long hair, I would guess. So have fun with that. Redheads, long hair. Lord Welb says Gabriel. It's interesting, Gabriel. So what does your future look like? That's 2 questions, though. Yeah. To give me one. Try to give me the whole deck again. I don't want it. So yeah, I feel like they'll get back together with you. There is a call for you to stop feeling like there is multiple choices in life and pick something. Because I feel like you're always like, oh yeah, I could do this. Don't do it. Oh, I could do that. Don't do it. And I feel like that is the call to wake up and kind of make like the reality that you want come true and pick something. For the love of God, choose something and stick at it, okay? But yeah, the baby mum is coming back to you. Because I think when she actually sees that you're trying to do something with your life, she'll understand that you really want to be there and support. Because what was it? I was watching a video and I thought it was really interesting was the whole idea of men being a container for women. So what you do is you support someone as a physical and mental space where they don't have to worry about things anymore, and you take away some stress and worry of everyday life. And I think that's interesting because I hadn't thought of that as being such a big concern. But when I was thinking about it myself, I was like, that's one thing that I really enjoy about my partner, is that I don't have to worry about that, or I don't have to overthink, which is great, because I sit there and go, oh yeah, when is this going to happen? Oh yeah, it's going to happen in the future. And then it happens, because what was it? Something I was worried about was not having boxes to pack. And it's like my partner would have been, I would have had to do it myself. So, he's crazy. He won't leave me alone. I would say get police evolves later. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand that. Tina says, will my relationship with my current relationship heal? Is the right person for me? Okay, Tina, you got the King of Swords. Now, it depends on whether you want an intellectual partner. That's up to you. Obviously, he still cares for you. He will intellectually choose what's rational or something like that, but you've got to realize that you've got to pick up the pace intellectually, because this person wants an intellectual partner. They want to discuss things because they're very, very much about knowledge, and for them knowledge is power. So they tend to speak through words. They tend to be economical in their words, but they tend to speak through words. They tend to understand the world through knowledge. And they don't understand that other than, okay, what can they practically do? Yeah? So that's how they feel about it, okay? So I think that's up to you, because we all try and change our partners in some ways, but it's up to you. If you could deal with an intellectual partner, then great, go ahead. If that's someone that you want, that's amazing, because this person will be very much about intellectual stimulation. And they will push you. So, and then it's Sheena. Hi, will old person, Scorpion man return, or should I move on? I think he will actually come back, but there's like some things that happened with you both that he needs to figure out. There's still this thing that you might have to possibly apologize for some things. I'm not saying that it's not totally his fault, but sometimes we can't really understand at that point of time that it takes two to tango. So there is a resentment there. Resentment on his side, possibly resentment on your side, but you miss him enough to make sure that doesn't color your feelings right now. It could in the future, but it's not at the moment. There's also an emphasis that you might have told friends or family what happened in that relationship, and now this person feels victimized because of the things that went on, whether or not you realize both of you had an effect on each other. And that's the thing. So I feel like that's a thing. So I feel like you really need to, deal with that, what would I say? Like, it's really hard to deal with. Sometimes we get into a state that we say bad things about our partner, not because we want to say bad things about our partner, because we want to vent. And then other people hear that, and then they have their impression of our partner from our perspective, that's in that moment feeling hurt, feeling upset, feeling all of those things. So Empress of Love says, why did he pull back? There is a stuckness, there is a dogmatic approach to this that I haven't seen in a while. So there is just this stuck in behavior. There is this kind of bit that it's a repeat cycle of poverty. And that doesn't mean money. Most people can think of this as a thing, but this person needs to ask for help. They need to deal with whatever is trapping them in that financial situation. And in general, they're just working on themselves because they really need to work on that. So I think they possibly didn't want to put you in the situation that they were dealing with, and that's why they tried to let you go or push you away, because we always do that when we feel like that's a problem. Okay, no worries, Kofiya, I'm glad I could help. So what is true? I have already said this about Melody. Melody, I have answered that about 30 minutes ago. Hi, are you? Can I get a reading? Yes, of course, Laura. Put your question in the thing. Melody, could you go back to time about 30 minutes ago? I've answered that one before. Pelak Verma says, hi ma'am, my self-private boyfriend, is he serious or not? He came to want to marry me in the future. He's being wise about it. He's I think he likes the situation. I don't think he's worried like you are. Because if he said, okay, like, I'm going to marry you in the future, don't worry about it, is because he's quite a wise person and he's just dealing with it slowly. He's not really working on that like you're working on it. I think with women and men, they have like this different time frame for marriage. And I think with women, they kind of worry themselves to death. So you're doing like this partner of yours is very wise, and it's possibly just waiting for you to mature or take time to grow into a person that's a little bit stronger as a person before you get married. Okay. So Laura says, does Cancer me have a future with L? Says Laura. Yes, I think. It's a little bit of a fight at the moment, but you're doing very well. You're both working very hard on this relationship. So I would say yes. Saipsa says, will I be able to go to Dubai for a training program? We'll see. No, I think that Dubai at the moment is going to have a hard time with security. Excuse me. And they might not think that you're that was a really horrible burp. I apologize. So they're really not wanting people in with your documents. Maybe it's not to say that you're invalid person, but they might not want you into the country yet. That means that it won't happen this year, I think. But you're just keep being positive. You're doing very well. And it's only just because Dubai security, okay? So, Miriam, hello! Hello, Waggis, how are you? Hello, pencil sketch. Do you actually do pencil sketches? Because that's amazing. I draw, but I'm not particularly good at the moment because it's been a while and my drawings look not great. So Miriam says, Muhammad feels about you. There's kind of like a warmth and a coldness to this person right now. And what would I say? It's hard because they might not be particularly thinking about approaching you right now because their heart is cold. But they are getting warmer. So I think that there's just this coldness about them right now. And they're just waiting a little bit to warm up. So don't worry, they're just taking their time. Unfortunately, sometimes it's hard because we've all got hurt some point of time. You might have said something that has reminded them of someone else, and that's not your fault. That's not your fault. But sometimes it's hard because it's frustrating. I get it. So Miriam, they're warming up, but they're just being a little bit cold at the moment with hearts things at the moment. What is Rehan's current feelings for Atiya, negative or positive? Well, it seems positive, but there's also karma. So whatever has happened in the past is coming back. And it's coming back in force. So there might be a tit for tat behavior still continuing that they will need to resolve before they can continue. But in overall, it's positive, but like tit for tat behavior. If people don't understand this, it's what would I say? Prisoner's dilemma, which they got people to play. And so what you have is this whole idea of this, actually look it up, prisoner's dilemma, and it'll explain it for you. But yeah, if you are mean to someone, they'll be mean to you. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's perceived meanness or something like that. Everyone has to deal with some karmic things, especially in a relationship. Okay, I understand it's like stay on the sidelines a little bit, yeah, Annie, that they're kind of waiting for the response coming back to you. What does H have to do with me? Oh my god, sorry guys, that's not good. There was a frog in my throat. Hopefully it's out now. What does H have to do with me? Highest analyst. No, it's whenever someone asks me a question, I'm trying to scroll down and answer as soon as possible, but I also want to address people pretty succinctly. Yeah. What does H have to do with me? They like your vibe. They feel relaxed. They don't have to worry about life as much around you. So they're just like calm and chill when they're around you. And they don't have to worry about anything. So I feel like it's like you know how you talk to a friend for ages and ages and ages, and then you realize that it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and you've forgotten what the time has been? That's like that. Can I have a read? Of course, Aria and Manny, just answer question, like put your question down, and then we will answer it straight away. So it's Manny next. In a no contact situation with a Virgo, but I feel like there's something there. Wanting to know if the person will come. There is a feeling like these cards are telling you to work on yourself. So I feel like you shouldn't invest in the other person, but you should work on yourself, because the sun in this thing is to bring self-love to you. So I don't think that you should invest emotionally in that connection. If they come back, they come back, but don't take that. Sahas, yeah. I told you you're attractive. Should Sejal's next action towards you? I think I already answered that, Shrey. Can you, if, yeah, so, put your questions down. So, I'm answering whenever I can go down the list. I'm sorry about that. So, Sarah Bai says, when will me be in a relationship? I feel at the moment you might be emotionally needy, and when you're emotionally needy, it can turn into a desperation energy, and you might need to kind of work on being emotionally connected without being in a relationship, so therefore you have other people to rely on emotionally. So then what happens is then you go, I would like a relationship, but I don't need a relationship. And that changes the whole dynamic, because people find people more attractive if they don't need something. It's weird. We all have that. We all have that. It's weird. Hey! 10 Clovid. I just put questions in the chat and I'll answer them. I'm just scrolling down at the moment, so I'm sorry about the wait, guys. So 10 Clovid, Tibetan and Nepali exams. How are you, 10 Clovid? Topaz Kid, you keep changing the name. There is a feeling of that you should make every single day count, and you shouldn't be looking at the results. You should be working on how to maximize your time and study in right now effectively, because I feel like you're kind of like ebb and flow. You don't work on, okay, how is this going to be effectively put in my brain faster, more efficiently? Am I sleeping at the right time? Am I studying at the right time? Am I doing everything that I can within a certain time frame? Am I doing the Pomodoro technique? There is bits where I think you're hindering yourself. So I think you're doing great, but you need to work on that, because I feel like it's more study. So Daniel says, hello, can I get a rating? Should I try and get with my guy best friend? He's Gemini. Ooh. Okay. If you haven't put down a question, please place that down a question. It's whoever puts the question in first is going to be answered first. No, Daniel, I think the whole idea is there's just like a stubbornness about this person that you might not like, and there's also that reality, like the fiction of being with this person's possibly better than reality. I think that very stubborn, very opinionated person, which you might not like on the inside. So when you're in that relationship, they might do some things that are really not great, that you might not feel that are particularly great, and so therefore that's the problem. So I wouldn't say so. So Ash says, okay, should I go for modern to win a pageant? Okay, the question is, there's two choices here that are very hard for you to decide. And I think there's only two, and it's up to you. The choice is very much up to you, because this is a life choice. This is, if I do this, then another path closes. Because every single choice is equivalent exchange. So the whole idea is that we can't get something for nothing. Something has to get given away for us to do so. And some of them are life choices. So therefore, the way we perceive ourselves, the way that we do things is up to ourselves. So I think that in general, it's a hard thing. Take your time. Think about it. And deal with that life choice when it comes, okay? Hey, Kofiya, hi! Kofiya's here somewhere. Video Killer Studio, does my cancer mistreat their family? If so, when did it start? They might not mistreat their family, but they also don't bring balance to their family. What happened was that they grew up quite fast, and they still blame their family for that. So when they have this spin, they kind of take it out on other people by being the chaos. That doesn't mean that they mistreat them. It's a cry for attention. It's like, oh yeah, but you're going to make up for the lost time because I grew up fast, and now it's your reason to give me that attention, okay? So you need to realize that that's a thing, okay? Sorry, Melody. Sometimes the whole idea is, if you don't hear it, let me know or go back in time, because it's hard, because when you answer that thing again, I've already answered it. Here's a readings going on. Is actually at the moment radio's reading, but it's hard because obviously it's timed. So I'm going. It's essentially 7 minutes delayed or something from when you are. So, Christina says, when will Woodham reply to my message, and will it be positive for me? Yeah, I feel that it will be positive. It will give you closure or deal with something. So in general, I feel like that's a good thing. But they had to deal with some things of themselves, like that they were unhappy, that they weren't getting things done in their lives, and so they will have to address that. and they possibly have to address that on their own terms, not on your timeline. So they really need to do that. So I think in some ways it will be positive, because they're going to either give you complete closure, or they will try and heal whatever hurt they've done. Yeah? So they will either connect with you completely without any cause of alarm, or they will give you complete closure, which is great, I think. Hello, Sahat. I'm single. Who's coming into my love life? A new subscriber. I think the things are telling you to plan who's coming into your love life. That is, what would I say? I've done this exercise with one of my male friends, because I said, look, if you're open up to everybody, then you're going to attract no one. I said, you need to write out 100 attributes that you want this person to bring into your life. And it was really interesting what he came up with, because it's important to bring in or manifest the energy you want. Because when you're looking at attributes by themselves with nothing else, you will then sit there and go, I don't like this person because the way that they pick their nails or something, without realizing that if you have 100 attributes and none of them say not pick their nails, then it's not important to you. It's never been important to you. So the whole idea is when you nitpick someone's attributes, then you don't give them space. And you also don't sit there and go, this person's not right for me. So you're then giving your energy to the universe, and the universe doesn't give you a direction. Okay, so Rahul says, hi. When will the reunion take place? Sorry, I needed to have some water. My throat was starting to go because obviously with your vocal cords, because if they dry, they start vibrating on each other, and they will cause sore throats and friction burn. Well, not possibly friction burn, but you know. So Rahul says, when will the reunion take place? I say very soon, possibly in September. December latest, but it's this year, okay? Is this even possible that he doesn't know me but we're connected somehow? Everyone's connected. Entered. So what actually happens with life is we're only 3 connections away from everybody. Yeah, 3 connections away from everybody in the world. So, and possibly in the future only 4. So if you think about that, that's pretty insane. So in general, we are connected, and we're more connected now than we've ever been to anywhere on the planet. So, I think this person really doesn't know, because they're kind of full of, like, they're kind of not full of love. They're kind of overwhelmed by love right now. So they might have just closed down all love connections. So it might be that they're not looking. That doesn't mean that they have a partner. They just aren't particularly great. What would I say? It's like the whole idea of the mom that's very close to their son, and it's like emotionally leaning on the sun. It feels like that kind of feel. Will my medical form be approved and be able to give entrance on July 24th? No, I don't think so, Rohani. There is an unfairness of this situation. It might be that they will approve someone else's that you know of, and you'll think that's unfair, but it's something to do with you're not completely ask the right person to fill in the forms or something. It's possibly that you're filling the forms in yourself and it hasn't been put in properly. So just realize that it's possibly that won't be a thing. I'm sorry. It's something about it not having the right words on it. Mary says, hi dear, can you say to me, when will love come back to me? Come to me is new or from past? Okay, so new or from the past. When will love come to me? I think love is here already. You might not see it as love though, Mary. So the whole idea is sometimes when we are in a certain space, in a certain frame of mind, we keep seeking connections that are not particularly great because that's all we could see. But there's love already here. Yeah? So I feel like there is this bit where around you is love, but you might not see it because you're looking for a particular connection. Okay, Mary? Marjam says, is Muhammad going to... Miriam, I think I already did yours. I'm very sure I did this one. Let's just quickly pull out one. He's dealing with his own thing right now. Yes, Miriam. We were talking about the whole cold effect of this person. That he's going through some things, so he's a little bit cold right now. And you can see with this that he's got stuck and he's not moving, but he's getting himself out. But he likes you and feels like you're very much an intellectual equal. And that's really good, okay, Miriam? So he's going to warm up to your connection, okay? So, can I ask a question? Yes, of course. Just place a question. And I'll try to get to you as close as thing. Any love for the month of July? Yeah. I think there will be, but it's only as good as your flirting's going to be. If you don't give them the right vibes, if you're not going to flirt with them, they might just not understand what you're doing. So I would say that you need to flirt a little bit with them to actually make them know that you're interested, okay? La Lay says, I want to know, will we be together with my crush? Will they come back for me? Thanks. Okay, so La Lay, you're in the next one. Okay, so yeah, I feel like it will come back for you. in general, they're coming back for you, okay? Putma says current feelings for Cecile for you. They had this bit where they kind of dealt with some things and the world crumbled around them, but they want to build it back up for you, so they're trying to get together. So they're kind of trying to pull themselves together just to be able to look after you and support you, okay? So Mom says, hi, could you do a reading for me? I want to know his feelings towards me. Will he contact you soon? He's working on it. He's not in a hurry, okay, Mom? He's not, okay? So he's going to contact you, but he's going to be nonchalant about it. So how will be my married life? Well, you're full into it, Ketchel. You're full into it, okay? It's going to be good. So Johan Tarrant says, will my girlfriend fall in love? So okay, so girl, okay, so I saw girlfriend and I was like, you haven't fallen in love yet? I think that you have to plan as many positive interactions with this person. Because even though there is a bet that love is kind of like an interesting thing, it's also that you need to plan these interactions with her positively and see the options when they occur. You can't just stand back and watch this happen. You need to kind of positively interact with her as much as possible. So you need to engineer places or times that she'll be in there to interact with her. So then, yeah. Good luck with that. I feel very positive about that. Current feeling of my fiance, says Moon. They're feeling quite poor right now, and they don't know where they're getting the money from. But this is kind of only a short time, and they're getting out of whatever situation they're in. Okay. So Moon, that is your one. So I feel like you're going very well. So I feel like it's a good thing. So good job. Okay? So Christine says, how will be my married life? I think a lot of people have asked me these questions and I've already answered them. So if people can keep aware of when they've asked me questions, so I don't have to then do your questions again. So this is going to be a good married life. There's full of ideas, full of opportunities, and there's going to be a self-world that you both create. So that's very good. That it'll be a very healthy life for you both together. I would also then warn you that there'll be some practicalities that come along later, but you're doing very well, Christine. So I feel like it's not going to be a problem. You'll just need to work on the practicalities when they come up. Okay? So Ashi's next. So what you guys want to know right now, they're trying to put in all the opportunities they can, but you're not stretching out and trying to take on those opportunities when they are giving them to you. So what's actually happening is they're trying to engineer these things, and you're not actually giving them like space or attention or anything like that. You're actually saying no to the opportunities, and they're slightly frustrated about that, because they're trying so hard to get your attention, to tell you, okay, this opportunity's up, but you always say, no, that's not for me, or this is not like what I want. And they get frustrated because they know that there's a path for you, and that sometimes you're not giving that space. Like, what if this is a thing for me? So, I was an emotional vampire to me. Yeah, I feel like that was a thing, Jades. I feel like that was a thing. So, Ashi, keep your eyes out for opportunities and say yes when they come up. When will I find this new job? This month? I think so, Butterfly, because there's opportunities that have just come available that you will see in this month. So it might be that you don't get this job this month, but you need to look for it this month, because all these opportunities might be like one day. They open the thing and they display it, and you need to be there first. Okay? So Rafi says, when will I get this job? When will I get a job? It's hard, because when people ask me the question and the meaning, sometimes the phrasing, it completely almost the same. It can be confusing. I'm sorry, Miriam. So when will I get a job? So Robbie, I feel like you're putting yourself in a situation that you're not going out to seek a job. You're possibly going online. And when you interact online, you're not being very... How would I put this? You're not being very effervescent or outgoing or anything like that. So when people actually see your applications or something like that, maybe it's cut and paste or something like that, you don't put yourself out there in a good way online. And so I think you'll need to kind of open up to people, open up to friends, and sit there and go, I need to have your help on this, because I think that's the struggle, is your personality is too quiet. So you need to work on that. Hey, JJ! Baby girl says, Victor and I be back in a committed relationship. There is that bit, yes. I don't think it'll be completely committed yet, but there is this bit where nothing else is better. So, it's going to be a while for you to kind of work into this relationship again. But it's going to be good when it comes, because I think you both realize that even though you were expecting a lot out of each other, you can't have everything out of one partner. And that'll be good, because I think that will be good for both of you. Angel message for you. Puminda. Angel message is saying that you're rebuilding your life right now. There was a tower moment and everything fell down for you, or there was a partial fall down, and it's okay. it was meant to happen. There was a lot of things that were built very fast, very quickly, without a stable foundation for you. So they're telling you to just pick it up, build a stable foundation, and then build on top of it. So you're doing very well, okay? JJ says, I love to know how the Gemini feels about a connection, no context situation. They feel like you emotionally sabotage the relationship in a little way. Like, you might have been slightly more... Yeah, I feel like maybe in a way you were quite attention seeking. Not like look at me, but the whole idea is that you were like, oh, this person's gonna look after my emotional needs, and every time that something happened and you got upset, it kind of was like one of those things that they couldn't deal with, because you need to realize that your partner is not there going to be able to support you completely emotionally. It can't be, because you're already dealing with the pain and the hurt of past emotional parts of your life, and you need to figure that out for yourself, okay? So you mean kind of like the relationship we have is like mother like son? No, I feel like that's the impacting part of the relationship. It's not like mother like son. It's more like there's other things pulling on this relationship. So the whole idea is this person has too much love that's coming in, that's dealing with that. So they're not dealing with that at the moment, okay? So they can't enter another relationship until they cut some ties with other things. Okay, so where am I at? Okay, so it is Chanel. Where is Alex's next actions towards me? I'm Gemini and a Libra. Hey! Hello, Chanel. How are you? Okay, so it's a magician and Queen of Pentacles. So there was possibly that you are dealing with a financial situation, so this person might not see you in the best light because you're always been a go-getter person, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm working on my career, I'm working on this, and they've seen this kind of fall down of you right now, and they might not be able to deal with that because they want someone that's financially independent. So they do see that as a kind of a downside at the moment, but they also want to know that they are dealing so they have plenty of ideas about this relationship. So even though they would like you to be financially independent, they also have some ideas where they want this relationship to go. So I think if it keeps on going where you're always having to rely on others financially, they might find that they're not attracted to you as much. But they also have plenty of ideas where they want that relationship to go. Is the third party Australia cheating my ex-boyfriend? Yes, and how is he? Well, he's just, I feel like he is, I think he looks at these relationships and thinks that they're going to fix everything that he wants them to be fixed. So he is always chasing the tail. And he's not going to get any happiness if he realizes that he's just blaming others. Like, I think he's blaming women for all these problems without realizing that he's always going to deal with that over and over and over again. So I think that he's really disappointed, but you can't teach him that. He's got to realize that the female connection in his life is not his problem. He's tracing these people because he's blaming them for the problems in his life. What will you do for your parents when I get money in the future? No worries, Ashi. No worries, Mary. Give me 1 second. I'm going to actually open the door. It's really hot in here. So, give me a second. Give me a quick second. Sorry about that. I think you'll be able to support them in a way that you will buy them possibly a place to live or pay off whatever is already owing on their house, Michelle. So I think that's a good thing. Lana, hello. Zena, just ask a question. I'm trying to do them as fast as I can, but also my voice is starting to crack today. I don't know why, but it seems like it's cracking. So I might finish up. It might be the end of the list after I answer everybody's. So from Pomelia is the end of the list, just because my voice is starting to crack. A man will respond to my text. We've been texting like a month, and now he didn't respond from Lana. No, he's just really not feeling great in his life right now, and I would say that he's kind of just not feeling it with you, which is okay. It's fine. It's just being, yeah, just move on, unfortunately, Lana. Daniel, I've already answered that. You can go back in time for that. Navita, yes, you can answer to have a question. So current feelings of Ugwell for me, it's not that far back. So Ugwell for me is that there was trouble in this relationship, and he might have blamed all the things on you, including the trouble, and I don't think that he's going to deal with that in a healthy manner. So I would suggest you not deal with that anytime soon. Or if he turns around and blames you for it, go, no, like, I might have been there, I might have dealt with the situation, but it's also like how you respond to it that is creating this. Is JS attracted to me? He has blonde hair. Ooh. Weirdly enough, he's not completely interested in you, but he's also not open to the feeling of a relationship with you. So he's not considering you, but he also isn't not if you approach this person, they would say yes, I think. So Brenda, hello. Thank you, Brenda. It is called the Cat Tarot, if you're interested in that one. I didn't make it, someone else did. Will Alexander reach out to you? Yeah, I think that he will, but he had to deal with some things or deal with how he felt. So this is that the cat is able to run away. It figures out that it's not that far from the wall, and it can run away whenever it wants to. So it's running away to come to you. So this lobster is your ego. These dogs are actually your enemies. So it could be that people were saying some things about you that they couldn't deal with, and so therefore they left it hanging, or their ego was being mean to them. So it could be they'll come back, but in what capacity is the thing. But they will reach back out to you. What's Kay's current feelings and intentions towards me? I think that she understands that you are a very emotional person, a very caring individual. So she appreciates that and admires that about you. So that is amazing. That's amazing when people can see that, and she appreciates you for that, and that's what she thinks about you, and she can see you as an emotional partner for herself. What does the Cancer feel about me, says Fatima. So yeah, Fatima, I feel like it's just like I feel like they're going through some things right now, and they're not really in ability to talk or express what they feel for you, and they might be in this turmoil where they've got to a amount of apathy about their lives. And I don't think that you can help them get through that. They need to kind of look at their lives and figure out what they've got that's really affecting them right now, okay? Michelle says, any blessings my way next month? It's telling you that there is a call for you to balance your life. There's a bit that your world is kind of going to go a little bit more chaotic. So it's telling you to slow down. So it's the blessings that come to you is going to be a period of quiet and stillness if you can manifest that in. So Nisha is next. General reading, please. What do I need to hear? Nisha, You need to hear that you're going to get what you want. You just need to work on it a little bit more. And you need to just think about it every single day. Work a little bit at a time, and you will get what you want. Okay? Hebia, did you ask a question? Yes, you did. Thank you. So we will be closing the list. So if you've come in now, we are closed, but I'm going to answer everybody else's questions, okay? No, I don't think he was cheating with you. It's like on you, the whole relationship. He did have choices though, so that was a thing. You misunderstood relating him to me, to him. Possibly loneliness. I feel like there was this chance to talk or communicate with each other, and that's what's drawing you or drawing them to you. Okay? Okay. So Navita says, coming week from the date 12th to the 17th of July, I have my examinations. Will I be able to perform good? I think you might kind of freeze, Navita, and it might be something to do with that you're not used to being in such a big exam. So kind of take your time to get really focused and get yourself in that kind of mental health headspace. Because if you're hearing everybody else around you, you might kind of start freaking out. So you might need to kind of go in there, sit down, focus straight on the paper. Because I feel like in general, you sitting there in a room is going to have a hard time. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you. Vidhi says general reading. Yes, of course you can. General reading. Okay, so there is a bit that you're going to heal your heart very, very, very soon, which is a good thing, even if you feel like you're already over some things in your life. You're still in a place of hurt, and it's about letting yourself open to new love or existing love that you can see with a fresh perspective and new eyes, which is great. I love that. I hope that it helps you a lot, Vidhi, because your heart is slowly healing from past things. And that's good, because we all want to have a healthy love for everything, or people in general. So that's going to be your thing. I'm glad that that's going to happen for you. Vika says, do I and Aski have a future together? What's his current feelings? Does he feel... Hello, Dreams Girl! Aski and I have a future together. What's his current feelings? Is he honest with me? He is trying. He's trying to explain himself and communicate his feelings. So it could be that he struggles when he tries to talk to you, and he's not dealing very well with how he's explaining himself. If anybody has just come in, unfortunately, the list is closed. So if anybody's at the end of the thing and listening still, can you place a thing saying list is closed? Because then I just know that no one's waiting on the message that hasn't been in chat already. Thank you. So okay. So he's just trying, but he's also like really having a hard time. Thank you, Dreamer Girl. So yeah, Dolby, so you're already on the list, okay? So we are up to Avankita, and we are just at the end of the thing. Thank you so much, guys. I love YouTube. It's full of friendly people and full of beautiful people. Thank you. Okay, so Dreamer, no, it is Sanya. Sanya is Safil is better than Sanita is aligned to Sanita. It's still this thing where he's struggling to explain himself. It could possibly be that he's dealing with her emotionally and he cannot reassure himself. I know, but I've just started, so some people come in and they're really amazing and beautiful, but I haven't got someone that keeps staying around for a mod. So yeah, I think that he's still trying to communicate that, but he's working on it. So I don't think that he is lying. He's not lying, but he's just dealing with a lot of stuff right now, okay? Do you see Sakshi and Sharikat in a long-term committed relationship? I am Sakishi. Ah, I'm glad you are. Yes, I what would I say? This is a hard one because this is more about you both. Because there is this kind of stopping of time or stopping of things. Like you're not looking forward in the future, but there is a bit that you need to keep working on this relationship. It's not going to be easy for you because you're both not good at being able to explain things like emotional, physical needs. Just you're dealing with the attraction and you're not explaining yourselves, and this is going to take a while. So I feel like I'm not going to say this is a small fling. It's just that you might need to work on this. So I don't know whether the commitment's going to be there first. So you'll need to work on it. But yeah, I feel like you'll need to flirt a lot. And you'll need to kind of figure out what your plans for the future are. Because if they're completely different, then you're not going to be any go. Yeah? So... Aziza, you're next. Okay. So when and how will I meet my future spouse? I feel like you'll be walking through a park and you'll be able to... It's kind of weird. You'll be like kicking leaves or picking up leaves for some reason, and you'll just like look up and they'll be there. So I think that'll be cute. It'll be like, you know how you're just in your mode, like you'll be kicking leaves or you're playing in them or collecting things. And thank you, Michelle. So yeah, I think that'll be great. So Promelia says, may I have a general reading, please? Primarily, I think you need to be more honest with how you feel, because that's going to be a hard one. It's going to be really hard at the moment to deal with everything if you're not honest to yourself and not honest to others, because that's important, okay? So yeah, that's the whole idea, the general at the moment. Able to correct G's main exam this July, please. You can do it, but you can also, I feel, when you're disheartened and when you're kind of giving up hope, you need to realize that you have to be your biggest fan. You've got to get up in the morning and go, I can do this. Like, I feel like you need to get out of bed. And I don't know if you're going to live in a dorm or you live at home. You get up and you go, I'm going to do this. And you get out of bed and you do that. And you might look like an absolute idiot, but that's what you need to do. Cassandra prescription advice. You need to do this every single day until the exam, okay? And also that there is help and advice for you. Always take the help, always take the advice. So the whole idea is you're not alone. You're not alone when it comes to the exam. Make sure that you lean on other people that have already done it, or follow all the YouTube videos that they'll have on it, and just get yourself well read. But in general, keep yourself preppy, get out of bed and go, yeah, do this, okay? Hello, Mustache. We're finished. Yes, so true. I hope so. Sultana, we finished. No worries. So I will be back on Tuesday. I hope that everyone has a great time, has a good rest of their weekend, and takes care. And I will see you on Tuesday. Hopefully for a long stream. I'm sorry today that it didn't go that long, but my voice is starting to go, so I'd rather kind of rest the voice and come back on Tuesday. So bye guys, take care, love you, bye.